Imagine you win the DV lottery. You're so excited to get your visa. You walk in the American embassy ready to get your visa, and then they tell you you refuse. They can't give you the visa only because you failed a subject or you failed, you have a failing grade on your WASSCE result. And then you're like wondering, where did I fail? But I thought I had passed. I thought I had this. Well, guess what? It's happening to a lot of people. And this is the reason why Kelvin and I, we're bringing this education to you today. We want to give you all the academic requirement that you need. What subject is the US Embassy requesting from you? What grade are they expecting you to get on your WASSCE results? Your senior high school certificate? What are they expecting you to get? We're about to give you a deep dive. Kelvin, do you remember when we spoke with Emmanuel, the young man who actually we helped prepare them for their interview for DV lottery? They went in there. Can you share the experience?
Yeah, so the report from Emmanuel is that when he went there was a guy that was refused of the DV lottery visa just because the person had D7 in one of the grades.
Wow.
Yeah.
So only one?
Yes, only. I don't know whether it's one, but you see, you cannot converse with somebody and know the issue, but actually he overheard that the person had D7.
Right.
Whether in one or some of the subjects.
Right. You know, if you're here, I mean, if you go to the American embassy, like when other people are interviewed, you can hear them. So what Kelvin is saying, like our client, well, he got his visa approved, thank God. But the guy ahead of him, he got his visa denied. It was refused only because, and then, you know, he overheard the consulate saying that, hey, I'm refusing you because you had a D7 or whatever. Yeah, I think it was a D7, right? Right. Yeah. So now, today, we're not going to waste any of your time. By the time you finish watching this video, you'll know whether you qualify or you don't based on the grades that you have. Especially if you know, if I win the DV lottery, I'm going there with my grades, with my WASSCE result to go get a visa. You might want to hold on and finish watching this video because you don't want to, you know, hype yourself and then you go in there and things are not the way it seems, or things are not, things are not the way it is, right? So let's prepare you. You know, the reason why it's important to watch this video to the end, during this video, we're going to give you suggestions, the things that you can do in case if you fail some of these subjects, to prepare yourself. In case if you're a winner, if you're a DV lottery winner, you can start working on it, because guess what? When you find out you won to the time you go to the embassy, that is a good amount of time for you to do something. You can at least do something to save yourself from getting your visa refused, and that's what we're here to do. Kooturu Global team. At Kooturu Global, our mission is one. In the next 5 years, Kelvin, how many people are we trying to help?
20,000 people.
20,000 people get to the countries of their dream. Now, with that being said, let's go straight into it.
For to double chair, Mina make us say, Ghana, maybe some Debbie Bram, Person to Kai, Eba America, Person will call Canada, Eba school, Hoshia dear, you should go to Robert Chinapai, so Person will call Dubai, Eba Yetuma, and that's grown Piana baby, Piana person will call Piano. She shall go to Global, a Chinapai, a partner contra, that's a wood steer, or Betty because where the music Johnny, where's the all this kind of sending and all the Johnny, go to Global, dear Yentissa, yet. Libi takazaka biala me to dago chewa ma jimejine mu no na tese ayade papa etisa wo hwamia no be na gu screen so no pa na fra wo go to kroba a wo mu yempuei wo mu du betu fa Kooturu Global every day.
Now, before we get started, please, we are using Ghana academic record as the foundation here to explain everything to you. But if you are in other African countries, you can look at where we are going with things. You can compare your result system. We know there are other result systems. It's not only the WASSCE, that is the standard result system for African continent, but there are other result systems. But you can just do the comparison by looking and watching this video. You can see, okay, maybe in the WASSCE result, this is where they are failing. In my academic record, this is what they consider as failing as well. You can start to do some cross checks here. So Kelvin, take it over.
Before I start, I'm going to say that our viewers should know that there are two things that you need to be able to pass. It's either you get one of them or you use two of them to get it. Right. One is work experience and another one is the educational background, which we are actually talking about. So what we always say to our clients is that be over prepared. Get these two because one can fail you. Don't say that, oh, okay, I have work experience, so I'm going to use my work experience. Sometimes if they want you to be denied, they can just use a different excuse to deny you.
That's right.
Yeah. So this slide that you are all seeing, start from the WASSCE, which is the least certificate, then go up to the degree. Yeah.
So the WASSCE is a West Africa Senior School Certification Exams. Examination.
Yeah.
West African Senior School Certificate Examination. Got it.
It's kind of confusing if you don't.
It is. All right, Kel, take it over.
All right. So this is grouped into grade, range, and description. We have A, A1, B2, B3, C4, C5, C6, D7, E8, and F9. Those in the C column are grouped into one. That is why you have credits in all of them. But the others, and D7 and E8 kind of group into one. But in all, this is what we have. A1 says that for you to get A1, which is called excellent, you need to have 75 to 100% in a course or subject, to be specific. So what we are reviewing is the WASSCE, those in the SHS category. So B2 says that you need 70 to 74. B3 says you need 65 to 69. C4 says that you need 60 to 64. C5 says that you need 55 to 59. C6 is 50 to 54. D7 says 45 to 49. E8 says that 40 to 44. Then F9 is below 40. Now, per what we are seeing, we are going to say that the recommended or the standard you need is A1 to C6.
Wow.
The reason why we are saying this is just because Ghana, to be specific, is a country that deals with documentation. They don't take documentations for a joke. For you to even get a proper school is your grade. For you to get a better job is your grade. So if you're also applying for DV lottery also in Ghana, automatically this grading system is going to be incorporated into the DV lottery standard. So the recommended is C6. Sometimes D7 can be pardonable depending on the case.
On the case. Can you explain?
Yes. Okay. So now let me give you a scenario, right? Let's say that in your DV lottery, maybe you say that you are going to further education, maybe into political science. And now in the SHS in the SHS program that you did, you choose general arts. General arts, for you to be able to get into political science, you need to have a background in what? Government. Now, if government is what you are using, government, we say that you should have A1 to C6 because that's the standard. If you get these 7 in government, what shows that you can do what? Political science.
Right.
We know that naturally some people are good and they can fail examinations, but they don't use that. They use the grading system to what? To vet you or to verify that you are actually good at this. So if you have these 7 in government, they are going to deny you simply because government is what you are going to use for the political science. Other things that you need to know that you need the A1 to C6 can also be the core subjects, which most purposely can be or will be the English, math, and science.
English, math, and science. You really need these 3 courses, right?
Yes. Those are the core subjects courses. We have 4. We have one which is social studies. But most of the time, they ignore the social studies and concentrate on these 3 things.
Wow.
So when you're even applying for a degree course or a degree program in Ghana, they will tell you that you need 3 core subjects and 3 best of your elective subjects. So that 3 best elective subjects will fall under the program that you're going to choose. Example is the political science, which means that if you have government in it, you should have a good grade in the government because that is what is also going to help you apart from the core subjects.
Wow. So Kelv, if I'm getting everything that you're saying, for you to enter that American embassy, especially one in Ghana, and for you to get the visa, and if you are using your academics as your qualification, you need to get at least A1 all the way to C6. Anything below here, you are in a danger zone. If it's F crowd, it's not even a danger zone. Don't even enter the American embassy. Especially F in this core subjects, right? English, math, and science, right? But D7, E8, F9 in these core subjects, you are in a danger zone. And the reason why, guys, we're saying this is because now you're probably, where are we getting this information from? We wish there is a portal where the US Embassy in Ghana or some other African country actually stated this. But there's not. They don't really specify this. They don't put this anywhere. We are gathering this information based on people online and, because we're consultants, so we know a lot of people that go in the US Embassy for their DV lottery and they are some of them are being failed because of some of these same things that we've gathered here.
Aside that, there's something. They say that if you go to Rome, do what the Romans do.
Exactly.
So since the US Embassy is being located in Ghana for the DV lottery, they are going to use the standard Ghanaians use in their educations. Their educational standards. Let me use the proper English, because if you go to Rome, you should do what the Romans do. That is why it might differ countries to countries, that you can say that, okay, Kenya there, if you have maybe the D7, you are good to go. But why in Ghana, if you have D7, you're not good to go?
Right, exactly. Because, so if you're watching us from any other continent, right, just look at the grade. look at your grading system. Where does it start saying fail? Where maybe this is the WASSCE result, right? They fail or well, not really fail. I mean, it starts from pass, right? But they are looking at the grade like 45 to 49, 40 to 44, right? And then below 40. To you, look at your grading system. Where does it start when it says below 40 or maybe below 45? That might be your grading system for the DV lottery to say that no, you didn't do well in this core subject, English, math, or science, right?
So
because
let's take an example that if you see somebody going in and winning a visa with a D7, it's just because maybe the D7 where he had it is not relevant to what he stated in the documentation. You get it? Because let's say the person did CRS. CRS is Christian Religious Studies. I don't know if it's Christian. I've forgotten the C, but CRS is like everything about religion.
Right.
And with what I say, which is political science, we don't need the religion over there. So if the person had D7 there, they will not even use it as a point to disapprove you of the visa.
Exactly. And Kelvin, there are other people too that when they go, their WASSCE results, they don't have enough subject on it.
All right. So you see, there's also another saying that one of the things that will not show on your certificate is F9. If you have F9 in a subject, it will not actually show on the certificate.
Oh, okay. So if you are missing some subject, that means you had F.
Yes.
Wow. The grading system says you did so bad to the point we don't even want to show it.
Yes. So you see that some people will have maybe 8 or 9. I don't know that right now we have a new curriculum, so I don't know the total subject, but I know that it's around 8, 9, 10. So you see that somebody will have only 5 courses on the certificate and somebody will have all the required courses just because the person failed. So we can't add those failure courses onto it.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense. So obviously you cannot just walk in the embassy with just maybe 4 subjects on your WASSCE
because they know
that you are supposed to be having at least 8 to 9. So if you have 4, then that means you failed a lot. And majority of the time, the people that even have 4, that 4 that appeared will not be looking too good. Because if you have a lot of them disappearing like that, then obviously, wow. Guys, I hope that you're really, really getting a lot from this video. So just like Kelvin said, right? Based on experience, based on what other people have experienced when they went in for their interview for the visa and they were refused. These are some of the things that they were saying, right? Some people came back saying, hey, I had D7, I was refused. I had E8, I was refused. I had, all sort of, report, and they were refused based on it, right? So we've gathered it, we've given it to you raw. Save this video, put it somewhere. Now, Kelvin, let me ask you, let's say the core subjects, the English, the math, and the science, and someone really did well, maybe in math and science and all the other subjects, but English was their weakest one. They had a D7 there, which is they are in the danger zone. What can they do, such a person?
All right. So in Ghana, you are given another option to rewrite the paper, which we normally call it NOVDEC. The reason why they named it NOVDEC is just because they mostly write it in November or within November and December. So it's mostly termed NOVDEC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or another option you can choose is to write the TOEFL, the IELTS, and all those kind of English examinations being that is the standard.
So that's what the NOVDEC, that's where it came from.
Yes.
Guys, I have no idea about all these. This is crazy. Okay, go ahead. Interesting.
Yeah. So another option is if you don't want to write an NOVDEC, because mostly what people say is that when you write an NOVDEC, they mostly fail you, because actually WAEC says that your failure is our success. That is their motto. So most people don't want to rely on NOVDEC because when they some of them have written about 7 times and they've not passed none of the subjects.
Wait, so the NOVDEC, you have to rewrite all of them again?
No, the NOVDEC, you select the subject that you feel.
You want to, okay.
Yeah, some of them don't like the D7 to the F9, so they rewrite. But I think they have a policy that when you get C6, you don't rewrite.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yes, but if you have maybe D7, E8, and F9, you can rewrite those courses.
Okay, got it. So that's the best thing that you can do. And that's what we actually want to tell you in this video. Especially if you found out that you've been selected for a DV lottery and you are watching this video and you're like, oh my God, I had a D7 in English or I had a D7 in math. What am I going to do? Kelvin just gave you that pour right there. You just got the whole tip right there. Go and sit down for the NOVDEC and you're probably saying, well, is there going to be enough time? Yes, there is going to be enough time because, mind you, maybe you found out that you won the DV lottery in May because May is when the result comes out. November, December, they have start processing. And Kel, when you rewrite it, when should you expect the result?
It takes a lot of time, sometimes more than 4 months for you to get the result.
So
it takes a lot of time. So
okay, good.
If you want to start the DV lottery itself,
if you've been participating, DV lottery is your thing. Every year just go write it, right? Don't wait till you win. But I'm trying to do the calculation for someone who have won. What can you do? Okay, maybe if it's not the sitting and rewriting it, can you also do like IELTS?
Yes, that is why I was saying that for the English, you can do the English standards on which is the GRE, the IELTS, the TOEFL, all those kind of other standards that they have. Depending on the countries, some countries have a specific English standards that they need. So and those ones, I believe the results come very faster than the NOVDEC. So
yes,
if you failed in English to be specific, go in for that option, then just attach to your document.
Right. So when you go in there, you look at your grades, oh, D7 or E8, not looking good in English. Then you can say, hey, but then, because I knew this was coming up, I did my IELTS. This is my band. I got a band 7. I got a band this, which was, IELTS is strictly English anyway. So you can prove yourself that way, right? We don't want to waste much time. Let's go into the other ones, the university grades, and then the GPAs.
So now the university grade, we have two different kind of gradings. We have this WA, which is the weighted average. I was part of the WA, and we have the GPA. Yeah.
Wow.
So the GPA uses points, but the CWA uses grade, like the percentages.
Got it.
Since we have the GPA on the screen, we can show that, and I'll convert the percentages to points for you to see. So the university grades, right? It works for the GPA. It works for both diploma and degree, and like the postgraduate and all those kind of other certificates, right?
Right.
But just that to note, some of them they remove the E option. But I've just created a standard that I've seen that has the E.
Okay.
So it can differ for some of them from the E and the F. They can make the E and F become F.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So with the one that you have on the screen, right? You have A, which says you can only get A when you pass a subject with 80 to 100%.
Okay.
And with that, the grade point is what? 4.0.
Okay, 4.0. Good.
Yeah. B plus says you need 75 to what? 79. The grade point is 3.5.
Got it.
So for those with the GPA standard, please take note of the grade points because that is the one that you're going to actually use for the calculation most of the time. Now, the B is 70 to what? 74, which gives you 3.0. The C plus is 65.69, which says 2.5. So that means they are deduction of 0.5, 0.5.
Right.
C also says 60 to 64, which is 2.0. Then D plus says 55 to 59, which is 1.5. E says 50 to 54, which is 1.0. Then E says that you need 45 to 49, that will give you 0.5. And if you get F, which is below 44, it's 0. As I said earlier, some schools also merge the E and the F together, so you can sometimes start from below 59, you'll get F, which is 0.
Wow.
So now look at the description below, or no, I say below, beside it, right? The descriptions, you see that the C ends with what? Average. And technically, we always say that I'm an average student. That means even at your worst position, you should be at average. So why then do you want to get D plus and D and E and F?
Wow.
But these ones are particularly to subjects or courses.
Okay. All right, Kel. So let's finalize it.
All right. So with the grades that we are seeing on the screen, it is for the subjects or courses, right? So you see that when you are done with the university, they have something called a transcript, and they will tell you that maybe fundamentals of multimedia, you add C plus, you add C, and all those kind of things.
Right.
You should also make sure that at least the D, as I said, the D can be considerable, but with the ones that we are using per se for the documentation, should have good point like C. Yeah. Because if you have D in one of the courses that you're actually going to use to process your documentation, it's going to be something that will deny you from getting the visa.
Yeah.
So this is only for the subjects.
Got it. One of the things too that we also want you to pay attention to is, even though you are in a university or you completed university or even did your master's and PhD, you're still going to go in there with your SHS transcript or results. Or you're gonna go in there with the transcript, but then you also have to add your WASSCE results as well. Now the reason why is because I was discussing with Kelvin earlier, before we move on to the next line, I was discussing with Kelvin earlier that But in Ghana, there's a lot of protocols, right?
Yeah.
And there are some people who purposely, well, not purposely, but they will fail a class or a subject, and very, very, very well. I know you are probably watching me. You were a student, or you were friends, or you were in school with some of these people.
Yeah.
You ask them, where are you coming from? They'll tell you, oh, I'm coming from such and such school. And then you tell them, what was your results? And they will tell you, oh, I didn't even pass. And then you ask them, how did you get into this school? And then they'll tell you, well, it's all in who you know, right? Because of those protocols, they know Ghana. Some people know some people, and some parents know some higher level people in the school. So their sons and daughters will actually bypass the whole grading system and still get into that school. Now, that could be some of the reason why when you go into the American embassy, majority of the time, even if you're holding a master's degree with transcript and everything, they say still bring your WASSCE result, because it's only the WASSCE result. They can take a scratch card there. And actually,
aside from that, I want them to know that they should take it like it's like a CV. It's even CVs. You give information from where you started to where you ended when it comes to educational background.
Right.
So you should just get every documentation that you have, apart from the BC, because the standard is WASSCE.
Yeah.
So
just like Kelvin is saying, get everything right, because we have some people who have been denied. We know some people. If you read online, you will find out they've been denied a visa because they took their masters or they took their diploma certificate and everything, and they asked them, where's your WASSCE? And they're like, oh, we thought you said we should bring the highest academic record, so I have a diploma, why should I be worried about a WASSCE result? They said, well, the answer is not too good for me, you failed.
That's why it's called, note the keyword, be over-prepared.
Be over-prepared, exactly. The person did not go in over-prepared, they went in under-prepared. So guess what? The consulate said, okay, you're being refused a visa today. And they're like, well, guess what? I brought in my master's, I brought in my bachelor's degree, I brought in my... no, we still need that WASSCE result, because, actually, Kelvin, come to think about it, the WASSCE result is something that they can also verify there, right, on their computer with a scratch card. So they know that one, you can't really tamper with it. A lot of people can just grab anybody's, certificate or whatever the case may be, do 1 or 2 to it, and just go in there and present it as their own, right? So that is the reason why they want that authentic WASSCE result. And when you go in there, they want you to bring the official certificate. They don't want to copy it. They want the one with the shiny, what is it?
Seal.
It's like shiny seal, or the two lights and also when they put it on in front of the light, it shines.
Even our transcripts, like university transcripts and all those kind of things, also have those shiny seals.
Shiny seals, right? So with the WASSCE, they can really trust it because of that seal, right? They don't just take your photocopy, because they're gonna ask you for the original copy. They want to see the original copy, because photocopy can be photocopied. Right? So let's go on to the last information here that we have for you. I believe it's the last one, or maybe not the last one. Definitely not the last one.
Yeah, so you see, the grade that I showed was on the subjects, right? So this one is actually going to be in all the subject that you did. Where do you fall? Are you the best or are you the worst? So they will add all the subjects together for you to get the full grade point average. That is the FGPA.
Oh, okay.
So this one is going to tell me that, are you a first class student? Are you a second class upper student? Are you a second class lower, third class, or pass? To me, second class lower falls within the C column. So I'm going to say that at least recommended, you need to be in the lower range of second class lower. Third class can be pardonable, but recommendably, you're going to say that use second class lower.
Right. And Kelv, the reason why we are still breaking this down and explaining this to you, even though majority of the time, if you take this university transcript grading system and then you take your WASSCE, they are still going to really 100% focus on the WASSCE, because they understand that and it's clear for them. It's much more clearer for them there. Let's say the reason why Kelvin is explaining this, because sometimes you can fail maybe a subject on a WASSCE level, but then university, you're doing well. So that's when they can be doing this comparison of, though you failed here, let's look at your university transcript and see how you're doing there. And that is the reason why Kelvin is breaking it down, right? So at least getting around this level is good. It's a good sign for you, right? Let's go into to, this is WA, right?
There's
So-
a weighted average, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one is straightforward. It's not complicated like the GPA. And this one is not converted into points. Even though it's converted into points when we do something like a mean calculation. But this one is really straightforward. So this one we have A, B, C, D, and without E, we have F. It jumps straight to F.
Okay.
Now, A says that you need 70 to 100, B 60 to 69, C 50 to 59, D 40 to 49. We see that in the other ones that I showed, they had, I think, -5, but this one is -10. Like it falls within 10 points.
Right.
Because 70, 100, 60, yeah. So with this one too, the best is still the C. Everything is going to fall around the C.
Yes, because even when you're looking for school, a passing standard is a C, right? They don't want a D.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a D,
And you
right?
see that all of them ends with 50. The percentage, it ends with 50, which shows that one more homework than with a 3, one more homework than then you want 50.
Then you're 50, exactly.
An average,
Right.
The average position.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Everything falls within the 50. So guys, if you're going in there with any sort of grades, we're giving you the gems here. We're giving you the recommendation, right? And then this is the CWA.
So now this is whereby this one is the one that is going to fall in your certificate, right? Because the first one that we showed is for one particular subject, right? And this one also, as I said this one is the simplest to understand because it automatically works for both sides. So still the 70 to 100 is your first class, 60 to 69 is your second class upper, 50 to 59 is your second class lower, 40 to 49 is pass, then below 39 is fail, whereby you're not going to even get a certificate, you're not going to get an award. Yeah. So if you actually want to ace your interview and get a visa with the university, you need second class lower. Third class or pass in other situation can be considered dependent, but second class lower is the best standard.
Okay.
Because let's take an example, right? We are all seeking for a job. We are taking DV lottery as a job. DV lottery, they know the number of people that are going to interview. Let's say we are going to interview about 500 people. Out of the 500 people, how many people are we going to give visas? We are going to say that we are going to give maybe 100 people visas. Now, if I'm to pick 100 people to give them visas, I'm not going to pick somebody who has a pass because I need somebody who has good grades.
Right.
And you falling between second class, lower, upper, and first class gives you an upper hand for you to get a visa.
Right. It makes a lot of sense. Kelvin,
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense. And you know, that's when the DV lottery, when they are selecting, even though the overall visas they are promising to give is 55,000,
Yeah.
they sometimes select over 100,000 people because they know for sure that not everybody will qualify. That, you know, not
Yeah.
everybody will make it, especially looking at the grading system, using their work qualification, not everybody will make it. So when they cancel and they refuse a lot of people, they know they are going to get at least the best, which is going to be half of the 100,000, which is going to fall around the 50,000 mark, which that is the reason why they have dedicated.
That is 55,000.
Right, 55,000. And this is the reason why they have dedicated our 55,000 visas there. But then they select more than 55,000 because they know circumstances and they're failing in subject, they're failing in education, failing in work experience. People come in there and not bringing some people working there without their passports. It's crazy, right? Like all these petty mistakes. This is the main reason why they do that, right? So Kelvin do have something to share here on the last information.
Yeah, with the last information, it says that the U.S. Department of State mandates that DV applicants possess at least a high school education, which is a WASSCE when it comes to the West African. I don't know how to say. Is it continent? Or,
Yeah.
And it's equivalent, defined as a successful completion of a 12-year course of formal elementary and secondary education comparable to that in the U.S., that is the United States. In Ghana, this equates to completing the West African Senior School Certificate Examination, WASSCE. While the U.S. government does not specify exact rate threshold, it is generally expected that applicants have credit passes, which credit is what? C6. The least. So grades A1 to C6 is at least in at least 6 subjects, including core subjects like English, Math, and Integrated Science, along with 3 elective subjects, which I said that those 3 elective subjects should also fall in between the documentations that you filled. Example is the political science. You can't choose political science when you don't have government in the elective subjects.
Right.
Yeah. Although a grade point average is not explicitly required, maintaining a C average or better on the WASSCE is advisable to meet the educational criteria for the DV lottery.
Perfect. That's it. That's all we got for you guys. Make sense out of this data. Don't go in there saying I didn't know after this video, because all you need to know is in this video. We've broken everything down. We've shown you we've actually given you all the, WASSCE academic record grading system. We've given you different grading systems in Ghana, and we've shown you exactly where you need to be and where you should expect to be when you go in there and present your documentation to them. them. A lot of people are being denied because they don't fall within what they want. So please make sure that you go in there and just prepare yourself as we have given it to you here. All right. Now, if you know you do not qualify based on the information we gave to you right now, start to do something just like the suggestions we gave. If it's English that you failed, do something around that area, right? Take some extra classes here and there, get a better grade, and then go present that. IELTS, TOEFL, just like TOEFL they call it, right?
Yeah, TOEFL. I know that some people will come and say that, can I present all the documents? Like maybe I have the WASSCE, I have the NOVDEC. Yes, you need to present because NOVDEC is like you have written another examination to show that this what works for these other ones, right?
Right.
So you need to present all other documents that is going to be relevant for the case.
Exactly. Present everything, guys. And then, is there any other? Yeah. So the NOVDEC, you can choose any other subject and retake it, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
But not other subjects. As in, maybe you didn't do government, you're going to pick government.
Oh, okay. It's got to be something that you originally did on the.
So you are rewriting because you failed that particular course.
Yeah. If you are here, you've been applying for the DV lottery, you know you failed, and you have not attempted, or you haven't even thought about, sitting and writing the NOVDEC. Please, like Kelvin said, go do it.
Even to end with this, right? The DV lottery already have a site which they have things they need from you, the prerequisites, which talks about all of this. Sometimes even the work, when you're picking the work experience, you need some things. Let's say you're somebody who is a secretary. You need to be knowing project management tools like Asana and all those kind of things. If you don't know tax management tools and all those kind of things, if you don't know all these kind of things, they can also deny you.
Exactly.
So obviously education is everywhere.
Education is everywhere, guys. And another thing too, that in case if your WASSCE, after you did your WASSCE, maybe from there you did a vocational. A lot of people are going to be coming in with a vocational education. Oh, I did vocation in this. I did it for 3 years. I did it for 2 years. I did it for 1.5 years. One thing that we will say is we will gather the information when it comes to vocational. We don't want this video to be way too long. But Kelvin, our next video, we are going to be talking about vocational. In case if this, your WASSCE is not that great, but you did some vocational course, how should it be like, or what are they going to be expecting, right? So please. So our next video, we're going to be doing vocational. We're also going to be doing work experience. What kind of work are they looking for? We're going to be bringing you all that video. So make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel for all the DV lottery information that you need. Thank you so much. Kelv, your last words. Let's wrap up.
My last words is everything's going to be well for you. You just need to be prepared for this and you're good to go.
That's it. Just be prepared. Thank you so much, Kelvin, for bringing us this information, for doing the deep dive research, guys.
Yeah.
You can tell my nose and my throat is all gone, so I'm not even going to waste time. We're out.
Sonfo tutu dabu chewa mi na meka say Ghana ma me dia sem da dabi bramo o person tukai e ba America o person wo ko Canada e be school ho sua dia so Kooturu ba jina kwai so o person wo ko Dubai e ko ye adwuma ana pro bia na baby bia na person wo ko bia so Kooturu ba e jina kwai e ba na control na sa wo titia obi ti bika say we de mi sika dwane we say o de sika ni send na no de dwane Kooturu ba de ye tisa ye libi takazaka biala me tutu dagu chewa ma jimejine mu no na tese ayade papa etisa wo hwamia no be na gu screen no so no pa na fra wo Kooturu ba a wo mu ye buei wo mu du betu fa